with the news on. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I might as well get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants informing, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings are not a snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cracker. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up.
Happy Thursday, family. How y'all doing? How you doing? I don't know about you, but I'm glad it's Thursday. And we got one more day to go. Oh, I don't know. It's been a long week for me, but we here now. So welcome in, guys, to the Bravo with Sheila Network. We appreciate you tapping in over here on the YouTube. And please, man, please, sir, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button for us. It is free 99 to you, but it means everything to us. And don't pay me too much mind tonight. Technology is technology. And so we are going to, I'm going to try to bear with me 1 second. Try to make sure we good as we go on this evening. So again, guys, I want to appreciate you for coming on in tonight and joining us. We are, can you believe March is almost over? Almost over. And yet and still, we are we hanging in here. And this is Women's History Month. So this month we have been having dynamic conversation about women. Not so much women in history, because as much as we appreciate the women in history, I believe that we are women who are making history. Even right now, everything that we are doing, there is some woman who paved the way, and there is some woman that wish they could have been in our shoes. So we're thankful for those women that have gone on before us. But if someone was to write about us in history, what would they say? What mark would we have left on the world? We need to think about that. So again, welcome in everyone. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button that you see. That's the like button. It's just the thumbs up. Just tap it real gentle because we want you to be able to hit it again. And we hope that you are prepared to get into a dynamic conversation on tonight. I'm trying not to be too excited because tonight's conversation is, I believe, going to be amazing. And I get excited when the men show up, because tonight is the men's panel, because the motto for the men's panel, the men's lounge, is something happens when men speak. Listen, men bring order, they bring structure, they bring strength, they bring so many things. Where would we be without our men folks? So listen, if no one ever told y'all you appreciate it, Lady Dawn B appreciates you. And thank you for joining us on tonight. We wanted to make sure that we had a balanced conversation this month. So tonight's topic is when a man loves a woman. And I'm looking forward to hearing what the men have to say. Now, ladies, we know it might sound a little simple, but sometimes, the truth be told, the way men express their love or share their love or their feelings towards us, we can misinterpret and we can misunderstand for various reasons. So tonight we just want to have an open conversation about what it looks like when a man loves a woman. Because I got questions. I do. I got some questions. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to get it right. I'm trying to get it right this round. Let's go round. This is here. I got my notebook and my pen, and I can't wait for the men to start chatting and chiming in. So, again, for those of you who are just joining, welcome to Thursday Night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. We always salute and pay homage to the curator of this amazing space, who is my Auntie Bravo in the person of Pastor Sheila Ingram. And we love her and salute her with a bravo. We thank her for yielding this captain's chair to me so that we can come spend these 60, 90, sometimes 120 minutes. Because y'all know conversation has its own way of happening here, and at about 8:30 we tend to turn left no matter what we're talking about, and life really begins. So but we appreciate you on tonight for being here. Thank you, Auntie Bravo, again for allowing us to have this space to have open, free conversation. Really, on the Bravo Sheila Network, we are not a Christian-based network, although most of us that come on the panel are believers. However, we are open to everyone's thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever your moral compass is. We invite you to share with us. We want you to engage, talk back to us, put it in the chat. We want to have a great conversation. We are here to learn and to grow and to dialogue, to learn a new perspective, to consider something from a different angle. So we don't have to agree with one another. We're not here to convict nor to convince. We are here to have conversation so that we can grow. Now, as for me, I'm a God's girl. Y'all already know. So you're going to get a little Jesus every time you get me, because that's my moral compass. But again, whatever yours is, please, feel free to share and chime in, because again, we're here to learn. Our number one rule, and basically our only rule, is that we all have respect as we engage. So whether you're on the panel or in the comment section, just ask that as we are sharing, that we are engaging respectfully with one another. We are here to learn, not to convict, not to convince, but to conversate. So thankfully, we haven't had to exit anyone as of yet. However, should the need come, we have our amazing moderator who is in the comment section, who she greets everyone, but she does an amazing job of security, because she will greet you. But if necessary, she will also exit you from this space. And she is in the person of the amazing and beautiful Ine Kenya. Hey, sis, thank you so much for being here and for doing what you do. Listen, for sure, we couldn't do what we do without you. So we appreciate you. She says, hey, Bravo with Sheila Network. She says, hey, Dawn B. Hey, beautiful. I'm appreciating you being here. So she doubles as security. So the same greeter that welcomed you in, she will not be afraid to put you out. So stay on her good side. Uh-oh, look who's in the building. My sis, Denitra, the Soft Life Strategist. She says, hello, everyone. Hey, gorgeous. Now, for those of you who tuned in last week when we were talking about the fragrance of a woman, my sister Denitra was up here. She was sharing. I love when she shares and she sheds knowledge, and she just blesses us with information. That's my girl. So we appreciate you being here, and hopefully you look forward to seeing her with us next Thursday night, because next Thursday night is going to be girls chat. So we're going to have the ladies up just talking about some stuff like women do. Let's see who else. Oh, the voice of God is who I call him. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. He is Poet MB Strength, aka Moose, aka our Moses. He is in the building. Hey, beloved. Hey, hun. How are you? And he'll be joining us at some point to come drop some knowledge and, give us a little male insight. I'm just so glad you are here. Let's see. And he says, hey, everyone. So he wants to make sure everyone knows that he is saying hello and hello. We have Without Warning Media in the building saying peace, family. And y'all about to see the brethren of Without Warning. That's family. Family is in the house. And we love it. So we thank you for joining in. And we got Bronx born 1968. We all know he has a different name, but we know who it is. Y'all gonna know who that is in a second. You're gonna know. saying good evening for all. I don't want to spoil it for y'all. So, just know that in a few moments, you're going to see who that is. So we appreciate everybody being in the chat. And again, if you could just hit that thumbs up button just one time, it means everything to us. And for those of you who are in what we call the expensive seats, the silent section up in the rafters, please know that you are welcome to come down to the comment section. Come on in, say hello. We want to greet you. I promise you it is safe down here. We got security. Anae is on her job, but we want to hear from you. We understand you paid extra money to be, in that secluded area. We'll still treat you like a VIP in the comment section. Don't be afraid. I promise you, you'll love it down here. It's safe. I got you. All right. So, as always, guys, we are ready to dig in. So, what we've been doing. So, tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear, I swear, the best podcast of the year, BB Online Award nominated. So, you say, so, cheerio, yell, scream, what? Bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is Lady Dawn B. It's Thursday night with Lady Dawn B and the squad, the most amazing show. That's right. I know Coach Theo is not here, but I'll do it again for her when she gets here. So anyway, guys, let's get into this conversation about when a man loves a woman. But before we do that, we can't do that without our men folk, right? Because we need them to talk about it. Because this is men's night. So ladies, I want you to lean in. I want you to listen. I want you to ask questions in the chat. And then I want you to, if we do comment, let's do so gently and respectfully. All right. We don't want to upset our men folk. We want them to be all right with being all right. So, and look, I told you the queen of Bravo, but Sheila is here. She is my auntie Bravo. You know her as Pastor Sheila Inger. She's in the building. She says, blessings, everyone. We love you. We appreciate you. And we are glad that you are here, auntie. We getting ready to have some conversation. So everyone, tonight, so far, let's see who is in the lounge, the men who are going to be sharing with us tonight. Well, you know him. You love him. He always brings some Dr. Seuss or the Wizard of Oz analogy. He's going to say something, do something to make you think in some way, shape, or form. He's been missing for a minute, but we're glad that he is back on tonight. So he is AKA Bronx born 1968, but over here we know him as Sir Eric the Matador is in the building. Welcome, NE. How are you doing on tonight?
Hello, media world. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Glad to be back. Been missing for a minute. Dealing with some stuff.
Glad you. That's okay. You here. So we're grateful for that. Glad you're in the building.
Echo on your side. Do you have your?
All right. And so let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get my. I know. I'm trying to fix it now. Hold on. All right. That should be better. That's better. There we go. All right. I told y'all technology be technologying. So we are good. My apologies, y'all. Trying to get it together. All right. So we got, like I said, Sir Eric is in the building. And so we are going to bring up his bestie. His bestie has been here before. He is no stranger. Once you're on this side, you're on this side. It's one way in, no way out. So we are glad that he is still here with us for another round of Thursday night conversation. And he is the founder of Without Warning Radio, Without Warning Media. He's just without warning, okay? So you just got to take it raw. He is in the person of Eric M. We call him Eric M on tonight. We got Eric S and Eric M. They are besties, and that's my bro. Welcome back, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good, sis. Glad to be back. Thanks for having me. What up, E?
What's good, E?
Of course. I'm excited about the conversation. And of course, also in the building. Now, y'all know how we do. This dude here. Listen, there's a million and one things that I could say. I don't think there's anything that has happened under the sun that his hands has not touched, that he has not done, nor can he do. He has 99 jobs, but being unsuccessful is not one of them. Everything he touches turns to gold, and he's only just begun. He is a life coach, an author, a father. He's the cook, the baker, the candlestick maker, him the builder, him the brethren, him the father. He all of that, and then so. He is an amazing author. And just listen, when he starts speaking, be careful, because look, you read something of his. If you don't want your life changed, don't pick up anything that he reads. However, pick up what he's going to suggest that you read, because he's the author of Courageous Vulnerability. He got so many names now, I don't even know where to begin, but I call him the coach, Mr. Vulnerability, Bishop Right Reverend Carpenter like Jesus, all personal trainer, all of the things. He is coach and author Justin Wilson Hockey. Welcome him.
Hey, I don't know who she talking about, but come over here real quick. What's going on, E and E?
What's going on?
What's going on, Justin?
What's going on, Zip?
There's no job Justin hasn't done. If Justin hasn't done it, it doesn't exist. Okay, he don't. Brett picks up trees. All right, he's a tree carrier. Okay, he fights with the wasps. He builds cars and rockets.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right, now I got him choking now. See, I'm just saying.
I was trying to be dignified.
I'm sorry. I was starting with my tomfoolery already, right?
Oh man. Oh.
All right, I was trying to be here. Look, Moose is in the comment. He said, "Come on, bro, AJW in the building." Right, he is Mr. Do It All. See, if y'all know Justin, if you know AJW, even Demetrius said trees, bees, and everything. Y'all, all of that. The trees, the bees, the car. He'll build you a rocket. Let me see. Well, he'll make you a house. He'll filter your water. I've seen Justin do just about everything there is to do under the sun. He's a different level of Jesus, y'all. I'm just saying, nothing he can do. Welcome in. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna stop playing. I'm sorry. And welcome in. Look who's in the building. None other than the invisible man, Mr. Vaughn Eric. Where's your faith is in the house. He says blessings all. And Vaughn always gives the L's for everybody, because he wants to make sure that everybody knows that they are blessed. What's good, Vaughn? For those of you who don't know, Vaughn is like my he's my arch nemesis. We fight, we argue. It's all in love. We will be yelling at each other at 4 a.m. After a panel like this, we'll be on the phone still arguing and pushing points. But everybody needs somebody like that in their life. Everybody does. We all need something. And we all need someone. So without further ado, we are going to jump into this conversation. Again, it is Women's History Month. But we're pausing from the ladies for a moment, because we want to be able to have a balanced conversation with the women and the men. And I felt this is a very important topic. As we continue to discuss relationships of all kinds, we are really trying to get it right instead of be right. So we need to hear the men's voices on how we do that from the male perspective without the women cutting them off and all that stuff. So ladies, again, we are here to listen, lean in, and learn. I do want to point out before we turn this conversation loose, please understand this is a disclaimer, okay? Just so we get it out there, there's nobody being sensitive. Don't worry, Eric, it's not your fault. It's not even about you. See, you was already over there making faces. I wasn't even talking about you. What you talking about? Nothing. What you talking about? Talking about nothing. I'm just saying it wasn't even about you this time. My disclaimer tonight is simply this. We are not one voice, one sound. This conversation is not a counseling session. It's not therapy. Even though we do have licensed counselors and therapists within the Bravo Nation network. And should you need one, you reach out and we'll definitely connect you with one. We are all certified in our different areas. But on nights like this, when we come, we're not coming in the space of our profession. We're coming to have conversation. So please understand, it is not one voice, one sound. This is not absolute for everyone. If we're saying men or women, because sometimes everybody starts, with the split semantics and whatnot. And we don't want that to become, we don't want you to miss the meat of the conversation because we're splitting hairs about, well, what about when men do? And what about when women? No, we're not doing that tonight. Tonight, we're allowing the men to speak and we are listening to understand, not necessarily to respond. We want to give them space so that we can learn and absorb. So nothing is ever absolute, okay? But these men are sharing from the well of their life, the well of their experience. And if we listen the right way, we just might learn something a little different that can help us show up differently in our relationship spaces. Now, I got some questions. So, because I'm trying, y'all. But let's dig into this conversation in 1 second. All right. So we got Angela Dawson in the house. Hey, Angela. She says, good evening, ladies. Good evening, beautiful. I'm so glad that you made it. I'm glad to see you. And I am so glad that you are here to engage and to hear. The men are ready. Okay. They are ready. So again, tonight's topic is when a man loves a woman. I thought this was really important during Women's History Month because as much as we appreciate and honor the women who have gone on before us and have made history, I believe that we are women who are making history. But what will our history say about us? And how we are loved is very important because how we are loved also affects how we love. So ladies, I want us to lean in and listen to the men. And y'all, I see her in the building. Coach Theo she's in the house. She is in the house. Do I need to do it again for her? I think I need to do it again for her because I know she loves it, but I know she does. Justin said yes. So we're going to do it again for you. Even though it's men's night. And then we're going to get right into it because she wasn't here. But I don't feel like it's the same if she doesn't get it. If she knows she loves this. I do this for her. So tonight, what we're doing on this very mic you're about to hear, we swear, it's the best podcast of the year. So you said, I say so. Cheerio, y'all scream what? Bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is Thursday night with Dawn B and the squad on the Bravo and Sheila Network show. That's what I'm talking about. I feel better now. I feel much better now. All right, so we're going to bring up Coach Steele. Thank you, Eric. So we're going to bring up Coach Steele at the end. For her to help and chime in and just add a little balance to the end of the conversation. But tonight, fellas, I want to ask y'all a question. When you think of the topic, and I always like to start with this question as an icebreaker because it helps us better understand the conversation we're about to have. So when you thought of the topic, when you hear the topic, when a man loves a woman, what do you think about? What did it make you think of? I know we did a show last year, and the topic was when loved right, a man grows and a woman glows. When we love each other right. But we want to single it to when a man loves a woman, not when we tell you how to love us, but when a man is loving a woman. What comes to your mind when you heard of the topic? Anybody can start. Anyone you can start.
The song by Percy Slade.
Dang, man. Gee whiz. I should have went first.
Oh man, that's
Okay.
that's when you say the title, that's what comes to mind.
That's what we thought of.
But you know what? I'm gonna leave it there and let brother E handle it from there. But that's honestly what comes to mind.
All right, but for those who don't know the song by Percy Slade, what does it say? What do they say in that song?
Oh man, you gonna make me pull up the lyrics, which I just happen to have here.
Go ahead. I love it.
Just do happen to have of all things. Just so happens. Just walking around with lyrics in your pocket.
No, when you said the topic, I pulled up the lyrics. So you know. And
Okay. Well, share because some people may not be of the seasoned age to understand.
so let me do the Michael Bolton version first, because that's the one that I pulled up. Which actually,
Well, just read us a few. Just read us a few.
when a man loves a woman, can't keep his mind on nothing else. He'd trade the world for the good thing he's found. If she is bad, he can't see it. She can do no wrong, and turns his back on his best friend if he pulls her down.
Heavy,
Uh,
heavy. All right. Do you agree with that? Since we're here, Justin done turn his hat backwards. What say you, Swinton?
okay, so I agree with most of it, except for that last part where he says if he turns his back on his best friend, and he turns his back on his best friend if the best friend puts her down. So you're gonna have disagreements back and forth between you and your bestie, and a lot of times your bestie, you're having these disagreements because that bestie's trying to give you the best advice because you went to that person for that advice. So during the conversation, you have some besties that might put the young lady down or the young man down, but they're speaking from what they see on the outside. They can't speak from what's going on from the inside because they're not inside the household and stuff is going down. They're only going by what you're telling them. So with me and Eric, we have conversations back and forth and all, but I never put down anybody that he was dating. He never put down anybody that I was dating, and so forth. We disagreed on certain things and all, but if we don't tell if we don't tell the truth, then what kind of friend are we to each other if we can't tell each other the truth?
That's a good point, and thank you for that. I wanna kind of sidebar just a little cliff note right there, though, and we can get back to it. Just food for thought. And chat, y'all chime in. What do y'all think of? Was the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the sentence "when a man loves a woman"? It's open ended for a reason. But what I wanted to say, or just kind of tack onto that comment about your friends telling you the truth. Truth can be subjective quite often.
Yes, indeed.
So it's whose truth? Because they could be telling you their truth based on what they see from the outside, like you said, but not, like you said, I'm not, it's no pushback. I'm in line with you, I just think we also have to consider whose truth, because sometimes the motive behind people's comments that they make, even in conversation, even those closest to us, are not with you in mind. Sometimes it's with them in mind, because you do have some friends who become jealous of relationships, that we have, and this is all around. But I just wanted to tack that on, just food for thought, just a little, something to, just keep out there for a minute. So, Mr. Moore, what say you?
When a man loves a woman, I think that's the blueprint for a foundation being built. It opens up the doors to so many different possibilities as far as them as a couple, each one of them as an individual, and to those around them, either the continuance of everybody being happy. Because, if I'm happy and my woman makes me happy, right, that energy gets transferred to everybody around me.
That's good. I like that. And that's true. I can see that. I can definitely receive that. It gets transferred to everyone around you, and we just hope that I think it definitely makes it accessible to everyone around us. It's sad that a lot of people won't tap into that, because sometimes people, misery loves company. So everybody's not always going to pick up, again, there's no absolute. But I love that what you said, it definitely gives access for everyone around you, to see what that foundational love looks like. So thank you for that. Let's see, they chatting in the chat. And they said, when I heard the title, I thought he sees all of her and doesn't run away. Okay. That's love will make you stay. And does it love make you do right? Love will make you stay. When a man loves a woman, he won't run away. Coach Theo says, is there a motive? That's what she thought about. When a man loves a woman, is there a motive? No. She said, she was making a comment to what we were talking before. Is there a motive? So let me ask this, now that we've gotten through that particular question. So something Eric Morris said about it being the foundation of the relationship. So do you think, agree, or feel, or what is your thought on that men set the tone for the relationship?
Are you asking me personally?
I'm asking all of y'all. Do you believe that men set the tone for the relationship?
Justin, you can have this.
Oh, now look, Eric giving out assignments.
No.
So, men, when you say set the tone, what does that mean?
Do men set the tone? Do you determine the weight of the relationship, how the relationship goes, the way it sways? What is your intention when you approach a woman? Your intention in approaching a woman sets a tone for what you want, how women respond. So do you think that men are the ones, because somebody has to set the tone? It has to start.
I think men try to set the tone. I think we try.
Okay.
I don't necessarily. So I'm a part of the Wounded Warrior Project.
That's okay.
See, that's when we say when a man loves a woman, like that is the most terrifyingly joyful event simultaneously. Joyful because you do have the potential to be able to create something, but is it gonna change? Like what do I do knowingly or unknowingly that stops it? And so yeah, I mean, I guess you try to a man tries to set the tone, but again, the tone can shift so fast. So that's why we try. That's my best answer. I'll speak for me. I try to set the tone, but I just know it is, in my experience, that is such a fragile thing, and if you're not careful, you could be in a situation where you do one small thing and now it's a wrap. So I try. That's my best answer.
Okay, you try. All right, eat Swinton or more. What the? Oh, hold on one second before you. I'm gonna give y'all an extra second to think about it. Hey, juggling mommy, she is in the building. What's happening, sis? We got the men in the hot seat of conversation tonight. We talking about when a man loves a woman, and I just asked this fellas, do you think that men set the tone in a relationship? So either E, whichever one.
I think it's
C or the K.
I believe it's a collaborative effort. All right, because in a relationship, right? There's both the male and the female. One can't decide. One can't dictate the route of the relationship. You know, you both, if you're partners, right, and you're equals, because every man wants an equal. I don't want someone who's walking behind me. I want someone who's walking by me, by my side, through thick and thin. So what needs to be done in regards of how I feel, there needs to be an understanding of what she's looking for, what she needs. You have to be very expressive as to, and not just expressive, but honest about what you're looking for, what you need. And once there's an understanding of what both parties need in the relationship, then the tone is set automatically if you're both sincere about making this work.
Okay. I can receive that. I like that. If you're partners, you're equals, and you both have to set the tone equally. All right. I hope y'all are listening, ladies, because I think sometimes we as women, not all, and I'm not going to say it all night long. We already know. Go ahead, Jess.
I just want to build on what the brother just said, because like I was thinking it, but I didn't. That's why I asked what is setting the tone, because I think that is like so important to understand that when a man is pouring energy into a situation, reciprocation is so important. And when it's not reciprocated, it's difficult to set the tone that you initially want to set, because it's like I don't want to be made a fool out of. Again, I'm talking from the wounded warrior perspective, so I I want to make sure that's clear, because I ain't speaking for everybody. Everybody ain't been wounded. But I think it's important to I think it's super important for the ladies to understand, like, the initial tone can be shifted by a lack of reciprocation. I'm not even gonna say equal, but just let me know I'm doing something right, because there seems to be this thing where it's withheld, and you kind of sit in limbo, and that's just not gonna work out for either person, in my humble opinion. So yeah, I like the brother said, that balance in both people showing equal, are both people showing interest. Now, I am of the belief I want to do more than the person I'm with. So if you want more out of me, give me more, because I'm gonna make sure I stay ahead. But yeah, I think like the brother said, it's a collaborative effort, because it's a relationship. It's two people on this ship trying to make something happen. And if only one person is doing something or committed to tone setting, I think that would be difficult. But that, again, that's just my thought.
Okay, no, I received that, and I hope we all do too. And welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is Women's History Month, and we got the men in the building. They are in the hot seat of this conversation, so that they could help us ladies learn a little bit more about what it looks like when a man loves a woman, because sometimes we have the wrong perspective, ladies, about what it looks like from a man's side, or what a man is supposed to do, or how a man is supposed to show up. Sometimes men are showing us love in ways that we misinterpret. So, we want to make sure that we are listening in and leaning in, and of course, commenting respectfully in the chat, which you guys have been doing. You're playing so nicely so far tonight. It's still early though, so we'll see what happens. Before we go on, welcome into the Monday Beyond the Mic beautiful host, my sis, Dr. Elaine, who is the author of an amazing book. I'm a woman with issues, but I still qualify. Y'all go get it over there on the Harlem Girls website as well as on Amazon. That's right. I'm plugging her book tonight as well. So she says, good evening, sis. So glad to see you in the building. Thank you for joining. And we have the intellectual in the house. Hey, how are you? What's going on, mama? Said, blessings. Oh, good to see you. So glad you came through tonight. We got Harlem Girl in the house. She says, that's true. Welcome in. Welcome in. Harlem Girl also, she was laughing. She said, we observing. All right, listen, we gonna lean in and learn something tonight, right? Because I got questions. I'm trying to get it right. I ain't trying to be right so much. It's no fun being it right. Well, I ain't gonna go there. I'm just trying to get it right. I'm reformed. I'm reforming. So I'm trying to get it right. And I got questions. They know this shit. I got questions, y'all. I got questions because I realize when I think about when a man loves a woman, and this I will say, is kind of provoked or timely by a question that was put out on the panel on Justin's live on TikTok on Sunday that tripped me up, had me really digging back. One of the questions that Written had asked towards the end that really threw me, and I was like, oh man, like it, caught me off. I felt like, somebody had tapped my jaw, like sneak, that I wasn't looking. But I had to really do a lot of self-reflection, and I thought about through the question that she asked and how I responded. It brought me to the thought of this topic of when a man loves a woman. And it made me think about how often my perception of what a man loving me looked like was really far from how a man was expressing his love. And so we can miss it, and it causes a lot of conflict in a relationship. There's a lot of good relationships we could have had. They may not have lasted forever, but relationships could have been thrown off because, ladies, we are misinterpreting the way a man is loving us sometimes, not all the time. One thing I will say, I mentioned on Sunday night was about protection and how I didn't realize how I would be rejecting the protection of a man, and it didn't register to me as love. It would register to me as control, which was a me thing, not necessarily a them thing. So this is what I'm saying, just as an example, within the conversation, we have to learn what love really looks like when a man is trying to love you. And it doesn't mean that we don't know all the things, and I hope that makes sense, fellas. Does that make sense? When you protected yourself for so long, you don't know how to let anybody else protect you. So when the man comes into your life trying to protect you, as you know, they say the three P's of how men love women is protection, provision, and I always forget whatever the third P is. I always forget. But this is for us to learn and maybe help to bring our walls down, ladies. And I didn't realize that I wasn't even giving the men in my life, in a sense, the opportunity to show up in that man space because of my stuff. Because if it didn't look like what I thought it should look like, then it wasn't it. And it's like, nah, bro, you're wrong. But I had to think about it like now at this, big old age, I understand differently. So I want us to try to not make those same mistakes and even give us a chance to, kind of separate ourselves and kind of be able to revamp how we think. So, Swinton, what say you?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Now, if you're going to be up here, you're going to have to pay attention.
I mean, you paused and then you did a side.
That's not the point. Well, while we're pausing, see, here goes Justin with the glasses. Now you made me get a fine, and he put the glasses on all early. But while we're pausing, let's welcome in Moose Be Strength into the building. Y'all know I call him the voice of God, and we are glad he is here on tonight. What's good, Moose? Welcome in.
Hey family, how y'all doing?
What's good, fam?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, Bridget?
Hey, brethren. I'm a little late to the convo, but I'm here though, family.
That's all that matters. You are in the building. You in the building, and we are glad you are here. So, Anae is asking everyone, could you? They said, go ahead and purchase Dr. Elaine's book. She put the link in the chat because we want to support each other and make sure that everyone is built up and getting it out there. I promise you, it's gonna bless you, and we're gonna make sure you go purchase Justin's book. Courageous Vulnerability. If you haven't gotten it already, we want to make sure you go over to Amazon. I thought I was on TikTok for a minute and I was about to say the rainforest, but we don't have to. We can talk freely over here. Make sure you go over to Amazon and purchase it over there. All right. Make sure you go and get it. And his information will be in the chat also. But we're talking about the thought of when a man loves a woman and what that looks like. Well, we're going to start over. We're going to go to the next question. So, Eric Swinton.
Yes, Brathwaite.
Let me ask you this question, sir. How does a man, what is one way a man shows his love for a woman that you wish more women understood? And it doesn't have to be your personal situation right now, whatever. But in general, and men, as you're answering, I mean, you can share from your person, whatever you want to do, is no limits. I'm just saying. But what is one way that a man shows his love to a woman that sometimes that you feel or you've experienced that women overlook? Because we may not understand. Again, we may not always perceive it that way.
One way is listening to the man, because sometimes y'all hear, but you're not listening. You hear what I'm saying, but are you listening to what I'm saying? There's two different ways that goes. So I would say just listen.
Okay. All right. So ladies, men would like for us to listen, not just hear, but listen, or not just listen, but hear what they're saying. All right. We'll take it. E. Moore, what is one way that a man shows his love for a woman that sometimes women misunderstand?
Well, and this is just my personal assessment. When we fully commit to you and we say these words that most women have been looking for, it's like, I love you, or I'm in love with you, right? That carries a lot of weight, right? Because if I'm telling you I love you, right, I'm committing myself to be vulnerable to you. I'm considering myself to be patient with you, accepting of who you are, both the good and the bad, right? And I also consider myself to be understanding of whatever may transpire throughout this journey that we share together. So what I think that should take place, that should be basically reciprocated on both parts, not just mine, but hers as well.
Okay. All right. So we should understand when your man's saying that you love us or that you're in love with us, we should understand that that's a part of your vulnerability and your commitment to us.
Not that. What I'm saying is this, all right? When we decide to tell our women that we love them, all right, we're opening up. We've been so conditioned to be closed off to the world and not really show feelings and emotions. Sometimes by doing that, right, we become vulnerable, especially if you're not the individual who's a trusting individual, especially if you're an individual who's been, quote unquote, hurt before. We've all been hurt at one point in time in life, So no one likes to feel that way. So when we open up and we say that we love you, right, once again, we're opening ourselves to be vulnerable to you. We're trusting you. We're letting you know that we trust you. right? And what I'm saying is a lot of people really don't understand that. A lot of women may just see it's like, all right, well, these are just words.
Okay,
I got a question.
got it.
I got a question. What's the famous line that comes when a man says, "I love you"? What's the one line most
You
most
you
women
want me? Am I answering for me? Because I'm a little extra. So
I know you're a little extra, but in general, what's the one question, the main question a lot of women ask when a man says, and he's being vulnerable when he says, "I love you"?
most women, I think, ask why.
Thank you. Why is it we have to give you a reason why when I'm letting my guard down and I'm saying I love you, why you can't just accept that? Why it has to be, well, what is it that you love about me?
Okay, so let's pause there then, since we're here now. Um, and again, we're talking to understand. And I don't want to answer a question with a question,
Right.
but why is the response of why taken offensively, as if we don't believe you? I'm like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm glad we're having this conversation because that does happen. Let me answer your question first. And I can't speak for every woman, but I would believe that the majority of us, it's a point of reassurance. It's a point of affirming. It's a point of letting me know that you really do see me and you know me and you're loving me for the right reasons. Because as a woman, you can hear men tell you, "I love you, I'm in love with you." If I could tell you, I could show you my inbox, people I haven't even met talking about "I love you." Bruh, what are you talking about? You've seen a whole picture. That is all you've seen. You know, like you don't even know the sound of my voice unless you watch the video. What are you loving? You know, and some men use the term "I love you." It becomes weaponized in a different way because they think that as women, that's the one thing every woman wants to hear that's going to open up the floodgates. Men can use that as a point of manipulation to get me emotionally vulnerable so that now you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You know, because you get a woman's heart, you get everything else. You know, so sometimes when we ask that question, why, it's because we want to know that you really know who we are and that you are loving us for the right reasons. Now, there's a difference in you can love me for me or you can love me for what I do for you. And sometimes that's a very fine line. And so as women, we do want to know. Some of us could also be, you know, insecure in some things. But I think primarily that question is so that we are sure that you understand what that means. You know, that you're not just saying it today. Because for me, if you're telling me that you love me, it's like, okay, because my interpretation of love and the weight of love, that love don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
Love does not take advantage. Love does not abandon. Love doesn't lie. So when you're telling me you love me and I'm asking you, well, why? Because those are heavy words. We don't take them lightly. But when you say it, I'm expecting all of these things to come along with it. So in a nutshell, that's why we ask why. Now, my question is that everybody, y'all good men?
I'm good.
Okay. I was asking everybody. Okay.
Nah,
Now, my
nah,
question,
can I throw something in there?
yes, go ahead.
For some people, like I know everybody's different, so I know my answer may not be similar to the brothers here, but sometimes the why, right? Like when you ask the why, there's no answer to it besides the fact that you are you. I love you because you're you. And that also may be like what you do for me. You being you. Like literally your existence is why I love you. You get what I'm saying? So when you
Mm-hmm.
ask me like why, I'm like, don't you see you? Don't you know who you are? Like, I know who you are, and I can't believe nobody else feel this way about you. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I know that might be superficial for people, because some people, but then I feel like if I drive down and start digging and start naming all these things, you got to be honest. Like, you might think it's a lie. Sometimes just being who you are is the reason why I love you. Like, me being around you, yes, it may be me benefiting from you, like just your energy, who you are, like, yeah, it's something you doing for me, right? But if you conflate both how I feel about what you doing with what you do for me by you just being you, then I think there's a problem. Because then you're looking at it like, oh, it's just what you do for me. No, you got to understand, you being you does me. Like, that's doing me. Just you being you. Like what else you want me to love? What you want me to say, that you know how to do trigonometry and I ain't know how to do it? You taught me trigonometry? Like, nah, like, you just being you. Like, if you a good human being to the core and as a woman, and you're giving me as a man something I ain't never seen, obviously it's about what you do for me. So I think sometimes women get lost in that. Don't get lost in the fact that, like, you do something for him. That's what's going to keep that man coming to you. The fact that you do something for me. You do something for me nobody else does. So if that bothers you, then then I gotta say, okay, maybe you not ready for me.
That's fair. And I don't think that when women ask that question or we're in that particular scenario, it's not that it bothers us. We need to sometimes just understand the truth of it. Like, what does that mean for you? Because love means different things to different people. And, I think sometimes it's for us to get on the same page. Now, you made a good point of, the question of, don't you see you? Well, oftentimes we don't. Just like prime example, nature. A butterfly has no idea how beautiful it is. It can't see its own colors because it can never see its wings. Whereas you and I can plainly see it, because we're from the outside. And I think that that's a reciprocal question, even if we flip it, because sometimes with you as men, the question then comes as to, well, why are you with me? And it's like, well, I'm with you because you're who I choose, because, you're who I enjoy, how you make me feel. You make me want to do things, when a man feeds into a woman in the right spaces, we will do more. We tend to do more. And I believe that that's the same with men as well, but with us as women, I believe we want to know that you understand that the reason why we do what we do for you is because of how we feel about you. And it's not caught it up. And we don't want it to be caught up in the action. We want you to be caught up in the root of it, like what it comes from. I think when women feel understood in their love, we'll stop asking that question. But ladies, let's keep that in mind. You hear from the men, when they're saying, I love you, they want us to believe it, period. Not have to question why or second guess or misunderstand. I see you, Moose. I just want to read some comments. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come right to you because they chatting in the chat. So I want to make sure we get their comments. And Denitra says, I agree. Men set the tone in the beginning, the example, the blueprint, especially since men usually pursue the woman first. Once they decide they quote unquote love each other, what does that look like for him? That goes back to the question we asked before. Do you think men set the tone in a relationship? And I agree with you, Denitra, for that reason. Most often men are pursuing women. So you would set the tone because you know what you're looking for. To me, that's my perspective. Which is why sometimes my two questions will always be, what do you want and who sent you? But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to. Look, I'm just saying, like, what It's real. It's real. It's like you want something, you're not just over here. You ain't got nothing else to do, and fit you. So
Okay.
Don't understand how that sound, like really how you would sound saying that to somebody.
Eric, I think you know me well enough to know.
I've seen it in action. I've seen it in action.
I'm reforming, y'all. I'm reforming. So I'm trying. I'm just like, what, like, what we doing? Like, you came over here, why? I'm like, okay, all right. But I'm trying to, I'm better. I'm better now. I'm better. I don't lead that way. I at least let you get off more than hello before I start asking the questions. Because I got questions. I told y'all I got questions. All right, so and they posted that where you can get Justin's book. The information is in the chat. Make sure that you listen, y'all. Go get these books. I promise you. Listen, the giftings that are up here and the knowledge that is being shared, I promise you, invest in yourself. These books will bless you, both of them. Harlem Girl says, like a man can tell a woman that her clothing is too revealing, some women misinterpret the message behind its belief. It's a form of love and protection, but that's just me. Great point, Harlem Girl. Exactly. This is what I was saying. Sometimes we misunderstand and we misinterpret. We don't take that protection as love. We take it as control. So, ladies, we got to listen from a different place. Especially if this is the man that you decided to commit to in relationship, you got to believe he's not saying something to hurt us. It is to help us because we are a reflection of him, and we have to also be mindful of their safety. They don't want someone approaching you. They know how men think better than we know how men think, So yeah, that's a prime example of, how we misinterpret a man's request or their what they share. Theo says, I agree with Dr. Elaine. Let's see, the lyrical musician. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Glad to see you in the building, Lyrical Assassin. Welcome, join. Thank you for joining. Oh, y'all came through tonight. Come on, TikTok fam, in the building. So Harlem Girl says, is that a hard question, sir? Women are searching for a man that's emotionally available. And that's another part of the conversation. Fellas, don't forget, Moose, I got you. As soon as it's done the comments, I got you. And Emor, I see you. But let's understand what emotional availability is, ladies, and what that really looks like. Because there are a lot of men who are showing up emotionally available and we misinterpret it because we are not used to a man approaching us from a softer side, not necessarily in tone, but in action. So we're going to touch on that too. And they said, that's a great point, Eric. Theo said, that was a good question, Eric. And they said, what if it is indescribable at that moment? Good question. Harlem Girl said, well said, beautiful. Anae was saying good. Theo said good point to Anae. And Anae says, what would be a right answer though? Would it be based on a woman's need or insecurity at the time of the declaration? Listen, they got questions tonight. We got questions. I'm glad I'm not the only one. See, so we are here, man. We are listening. We are trying to learn. We are trying to understand. We are going to get it all together because we want to hear. We don't want to miss the messages anymore. Harlem Girl said that question was for Eric. Respond to why. Ask why I love you. Okay, that was for Eric Swinton. All right, got it. All right, so we are caught up in the chat. Moose, you wanted to comment, and then Eric Moore, you wanted to comment?
Yeah, you can pass it off to the brother now. I was in the moment, so.
Sorry. Y'all gotta write it down. I be trying to get to all the things.
Because it's funny that Moose said that because I was in the moment, but the young lady just stated another question, right? And there is no correct answer. There is no plug and play answer. Every woman has dealt with certain situations in their lives. All right. So, like, some of them may view us, or maybe, perfect example, certain women may view that love word as, like, a trap, quote unquote, love bombing, because, like, it's been used on them so many times by so many different women, who were men who were very insecure, not just insecure, but insincere about their actions. So when you finally have someone who comes to you, who knows exactly what he wants and why he wants it, and he decides to open up to you, right? The first thing that you may say to protect yourself and defend your feelings is why. There is no wrong or right answer. I mean, like Moose said, me personally, I've never been the type to chase. I've never been that, right? And so when I decide to open up to a woman and tell her that I love her, it's a totally different situation, because I'm coming from a place of, listen, I want you. You make me feel better when I'm around you. Your energy is good for me. I'm at the point to where I can actually say I feel comfortable around you. I want to be around you because you make me feel good about me being who I am. You accept me for who I am. And this is a rarity. I can't speak for any other man on the panel, but the majority of us, right? We don't open up to everybody. That's general rule. We're not going to open up to anybody and everybody, not the same way. I could open up to E about certain things in my life, right? I can open up to Moose about certain things in his life, or my life in regarding him, right? But when it comes to a woman, I have to be able to know that I can trust you. I have to see certain characteristics in you that make me feel that we can move forward and build something special with each other. I also have to know, right, that you're ready for this. And sometimes it's me taking the time, and this is going to sound very foul, but it's not meant that way, ladies. It's me taking the time to put you through the process to see whether or not you're basically worthy of being with me. Because not everybody is worthy. So when you pass the test and I say, yo, I love you, I mean exactly what I say. And sometimes by us being men, not all of us are qualified to answer the question the way you feel we should answer that question. But you should take the fact that the point that we're saying that we love you, right, not just as us running game on you, but also just because we can't, how should I say, we can't break down that answer to make you feel happy or secure about the answer we give you, doesn't mean we love you any less. Some of us we're built differently. Not everybody has an Ivy League, education. Some of us are strictly from the street,
Okay, I love it. Moose, you wanted to add something. Justin, you wanted to add something?
Okay, Justin, is it in this sphere right now? Because I'm gonna take it back, so I'll let you hit it if it's
Yeah,
right.
I was just gonna say that I think something that would benefit the ladies in terms of hearing a man say "I love you." You got to learn how to listen to his actions, because if he really love you, he's doing a lot more. He's going to be doing a lot more than what he says. Another thing is you want to be able to identify the small looking sacrifices, because when a man love you, he'll legitimately give you his last. You won't even know it, but he'll be giving you his last because he would prefer you be in a comfortable space. Because if he a man, he gonna figure it out because he got to. That's kind of what we always have to do anyway. And so being able to identify those small sacrifices and being able to listen to his actions will answer your question as to why. Even more, you'll have the answer to that why before you ever even get it, because again, I feel like we kind of just coming into this age where it's even permissible for a man to say this romantic stuff not even so much romantic, this loving stuff. Saying loving stuff. So, like being romantic is not the same thing as being loving, in my opinion. And so when a man is when a
Hmm.
man is trying to tell you that he loves you, the majority of that conversation is going to come from his actions, not his words. And when he finally gets to the place where he's saying it, you just hearing it because it didn't just pop up for him. Um, and so him and here's the thing: when by the time he says it, you've been responding properly to his actions. So in order to keep it going, not only pay attention to the actions, pay attention to your responses because that shift in response can trigger that nervous system again, and now he right back in that space. So I think it's important to just let for us to like pay attention to each other, and again, the actions is going to paying attention and listening to the actions will answer your question. Why do you love me? It'll give you some answers to that question because that's a multifaceted response. There's a lot of different responses. By the time he's actually verbalized that question probably makes him say, I mean, for where do you want me to start? And so that's my response to that. But Moose had something to say.
Nah, bro, like that's perfect, right? Because that touched on one thing that I did want to go back to, something that brother E with the K said, But going back to the action part, like that's really important that you recognize the act. When you recognize the actions, then you can respond accordingly, right? You got to recognize them, you got to acknowledge them. That's really big, right? But going back to something Brother E was talking about earlier, once that man comes out and tells you he loves you. Now I'm not talking about listen, I'm not talking about the man that's purpose is to run game on you. So this has nothing to do with that, brother, because his actions are going to show you, right? The guy who's there to run game with you, he's not moving in the sphere in which we're talking, in which we're saying, right? If I get to the point and I tell you I love you, that comes with everything of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm willing to rock with you through the good, the bad, the ugly. It don't matter because I know that at the end of the tunnel, there's going to be a better view, right? But if you're one of them women who don't see me, don't acknowledge, don't pay attention to the little sacrifices, you don't see those things, you're going to lose me. It's not about will I lose? No, you will lose him. It's just a matter of when. And at some point in time, if you're not letting go of certain aspects that keep you fighting, keep you fighting his actions, his movements. I heard earlier that there was a conversation in regards to, like, hey, that dress, I don't want you wearing that dress, so that dress ain't gonna look good for you, right? If you're fighting his protection because you're looking and mirroring it with control, and you're not seeing that. Okay, baby, I'm about to come give it to you. I'm gonna say this. Ish, go ahead. You first, son. Go ahead. So if you look at that control in a negative light and you don't see it in a protective light and you're constantly fighting, after a while, why is he going to risk himself for both of you? So look, I love y'all. I got into the kids real quick. I'm still here.
Dog, can I
No,
add
I love
something on
that.
to what Moose just said? Can I add something to that?
Yeah, sure. Listen, something happens when men speak. Talk, y'all.
When we love you, and Justin said this as well, when we say we love you, we're giving you our time, our attention, we're giving you our energy, right? We're taking the time to understand you before we even decide to formulate these words and put them out in the world, because we're making sure that you are who we think you are. So with that being said, we're understanding that you may come with baggage. You know what I'm saying? You may have issues. You may be career driven. You may be a bunch of things that I am not, right? And I'm calculating all these different things to see whether or not, right, you were good for me. And when I basically add everything together, and I realized that you were definitely the one that's going to make me feel better about myself, I'm taking the time to say these things to you. Now, here's the caveat. Due to the fact that you may have been hurt before, due to the fact that you may have different, career-driven interest, or you just may not be ready for a relationship, you need to be honest with us if that's not what you're feeling. Because by you saying, let me think about it, and that thought turns in from like 1 day to 1 month, from a month to 6 months, we're not going to wait around with that. And we're not waiting around because we don't feel you're worth it. But if you can't explain to me that this is what you want or what you don't want at that time, then maybe I haven't picked the right woman. And it's not going to decrease your value in my eyes. It's just me realizing that maybe she's not the one for me.
Got you. I hope y'all are leaning in, ladies. I hope y'all are leaning in. This is good. This is good. I'm glad that we're having conversation that gives language and definition to some of the things that we've experienced, because we don't pause enough to really break down these conversations and these moments so that we can gain understanding, and for me, I'm listening and I'm leaning in because I want to love differently. I want to love how I love, what's in me to love, but I want to make sure that I'm showing up right. And I don't want to misinterpret a man's actions, and I don't, but it's close enough to 8:30. And I don't want to hear nothing about discernment, because we throw this word around like it is the golden pass of, like it's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with discernment. It ain't that deep. We over spiritualize everything. We over naturalize everything. Look, let's just be real. Because when we start using these terms like, use your discernment and all of that, it's deflecting the accountability and the responsibility of the individual to hold themselves to what they've decided to do. No, I made this choice because I made a choice. And even with discernment, just because it shows up don't mean that you're going to listen. Don't mean that you're going to follow. How many times have we had a gut feeling that this one wasn't so right for us, but we did it anyway because we like the bad boy, or we like the risk, or we like the adventure? Where was your discernment then? So we're not going to place it on discernment. We're going to grow all the way up today and, not going to hold our hands when we say it. We're going to own it, and be accountable for the misses that have happened because we did not understand what love from a man really looks like. And every man is not going to show up the same way. Protection is protection, but different men express it differently. And we can't lock into just one thing. I see you, Jess, and then I want to read some comments because they're chatting in the chat. Go ahead, Jess. You got it.
So I was thinking about the statement, and I've heard this about that. I want to make sure I heard what I heard. That Dr. Elaine say women are looking for emotionally. What did she say? Emotionally available.
Let me see. Hold on, wait, is that a hard question? Women are searching for a man that's emotionally available.
Emotionally available, right? So could just be me. I'm wondering,
Okay,
Is
we
the
have a
is the
conversation.
is the guy that's emotionally available the same guy that they call clingy and say he want to be around them too much?
Mm.
I'm
We,
just saying because again, like we ask for these things, right? Like, but you gotta understand, like for me, and this is just my humble opinion. It could be a me thing. I don't know. I don't want to speak. I don't like speaking in generalizations.
it's
But
okay.
that
You
said,
speaking from your experience. It's okay.
when when a man like you as a man, you kind of gotta balance your man. Like you could really want to be around her all the time, but can't because she gonna feel like you clingy. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere it's like, yo, for me, I really want to see if the relationship can get to the point where we can sit quietly and just enjoy the beauty of presence. I want to get to the point where maybe I do want to just be here. I don't necessarily got nothing to say. I just want to be here. I want to be in your presence. Your presence has bettered my life in such a way that I want to be there. And then in that, I'm always open to have a conversation with Bay because every conversation is building, and I want to learn how to listen to you because I feel like even listening to certain women, people talk from their experiences. So just because we use the same words don't mean we're saying the same thing. And
Mm.
it's an art to being able to listen to somebody from where they are, and that part may require saying it multiple times. It may require it's going to require a level of openness and vulnerability in order to get these things that we're asking for. So, I think it's the same thing. And vice versa. I think as a man, if I'm gonna say I want somebody that's gonna listen to me, then I got okay. Maybe it's the one that wants your time. Maybe it's the one that wants to be there and wants to talk and wants to have a conversation and says little things. Because I know sometimes I haven't determined whether or not this is a flaw or I just haven't mastered on how to make it work. But sometimes I'm going to say something looking for the response. And depending on the response, I may not go any further because I ain't trying to fight. I can't fight the woman that I love. I legitimately don't want to. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be mad. So if I say something that look like it can go left, I ain't afraid. I ain't intimidated. I don't want to do that with the woman I love. You know what I'm saying? Because anger kind of go one way, and I don't want to be angry with you. You too precious. You too much. Too much of my peace is tied to your existence. So I can't go there with you. And so that emotional that emotional presence, it may require some allowing some time together that ain't really got a lot to do with the words. It just got a lot to do with that quietness and that stillness, and then we'll get there and we can listen. And again, I ain't saying that a woman should accept a man who's not emotionally available, but I think it is. I'm not making excuses for men, but as a man that is learning and growing in my emotional intelligence and learning what emotional availability look like, because I feel like that's a loaded phrase. Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly does that mean for the individual? Am I listening to you get mad and go off and not saying nothing? Like, what does that mean? I don't know what it means. And so I would love to, I would say like we have to have this space like when a man, and I'm trying to stay with the subject, but when a man love a woman, like he really willing to get in that with you. He really willing to let you be mad and say what you gotta say. Cause I need to know what's there. Again, I can't speak for every man, but I do have that fix it thing. So if I know something wrong, I want to fix it. If the last 3 relationships, the guys wasn't listening, then you got my ears. I want you, but I need you to talk to me. I need you to like understand that we're forming this thing together. Let's work together. Come I do not come fully there. I'm fully a man, but I don't come to a relationship to be a man. I come to a relationship to become your man. And that's something different. Because I could be a man in the house by myself, but in order to become yours, it requires that we come together and we are subject to the process of becoming. And when we do that, then we can get somewhere. But if the idea is that I got to come already everything in play and you got to come already everything in play, that's 2 single people getting ready to bump heads. But that's all I wanted to say.
That was good all by itself. I loved it. Listen, I'm leaning. I ain't even got nothing to say. I'm going straight to the comments because that right there. I'm like, I done wrote my notes down. So I'm not trying to be a man. I'm trying to be your man. And all right, ladies. I hope this is look. All right, I can't even talk. Yeah. So what are they? Because they chatting in the chat. They chatting in the chat. And then we're gonna carry on. No, this is good. Thank you, Justin. You know how we do here. Conversations develop a life of their own. And when we hit the sweet spot, that's where we stay because that's what we're here to do. It's so that we can have conversations that leave us not empty, but leave us challenged and full and with a different understanding. You know, wherever the topic takes us is where we go. You said so many great things right there that I promise you, I just like, I can't even, I don't even want to host no more. I want to go sit down. I'm like, let me go think about this. He said, if you come 100% and he comes 100%, that's 2 people going to butt heads because there's no room. There's no flexibility. There's nothing to build on. There's nothing. Where do we go from here? Because there's me just being all of me, not leaving any room for you, and you being all of you, not leaving any room for me. And, you know, I never really thought about it like that, you know, and that's a great point. Also about emotional availability. Ladies, we say we want a man who is emotionally available, emotionally intelligent, but do we know what that looks like when it shows up? Do we understand? Like Justin made a great point. An emotionally available man is going to show up and may be what we categorize as clingy, but that's what you said you wanted. You wanted a man who's attentive. So that means he's going to have to be present. You know, you say you want a man who knows you inside and out and can finish your sentences. That requires you spending time through the uncomfortable spaces, you know, and letting him see you with your hair down and one eyelash on if you wear them, you know, or whatever it is. You know, just say it. This is what that requires. He got to see you raw. If you really want him to love you, I believe the men are trying to love us in the raw, so to speak, but we have to be willing to show up that way. I take from it that men are not expecting perfection. What they are looking for is for partnership to build. Like leave a space that I can fill. You know, I realize that in my own life. That's the area I need to work on. If we look like we don't need no help, we'll never get the help we need. You know, so let's thank you for that. All right, so I'm gonna go to the chat because the chat was chatting. Denisha said, okay, so we covered that. That was a good question, Denisha. Set it off in here. And please hit that like button, that thumbs up. She said, I asked why after several years, and I didn't like the answer of why he loved me. Okay, so Coach Theo was handling that. All right. She was on that question there. Eric, I was asking that question really to women, but I truly appreciate your answer. I just wondered if we as women would really be satisfied with the answer if it didn't fall in line with what we think. Exactly. Great point, which is, again, why we're having this conversation. When a man loves a woman, do we really know what that looks like? And because it does not fall in line all the time with what we presuppose it should be, does not mean that it's not love. Are we willing to learn what love looks like from the man that we're with? Or are you still going to be, hard shelled without leaving room for him to show you? Learn to be loved differently. Learn to love differently. There's nothing wrong with that. Love grows. It grows. So yeah, I can leave that ass up on that because that did it for me. That's right. Because that's the whole point. Theo asks, what's the process and the test? Is it the same for every woman? I'm just going to run through them right now real quick because I want to bring up some more people to the panel. And, I would keep y'all here all night if I could, but I can't. Holland Girl says, a woman should never ask why a man loves her if his actions show it. And I believe that. I think the caveat or the opposite side of that is, do you believe his actions? Because I know for me, I've been in a situation where, a man has shown me that he loves me and I know it's sincere and I've still questioned it. And it wasn't a him thing. I now know that wasn't him. That wasn't a him thing. That was a Dawn thing. I wasn't willing to believe, like, I'm going to test you till I piss you off to the point where you like, just like, I'm tired. Like, ain't nothing else I could do. I don't know what else you want. So, how Maya said, I'm sorry, I heard her in the back of my head. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. So when a man is showing you with his actions that he loves you, ladies, we got to learn to believe it. Trust. And I think that trust issue comes up because we don't trust ourselves because of the last experience that we went through. We allowed ourselves to be in the last experience we were in. And I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for me. I know that was a big holdup for me, was me learning how to trust myself again with the choices of who I allow in my life. So this is real good. Y'all chatting today. I love it. Denitra said the bad part is when the actions don't match and you are left questioning. That's why we ask, and it's not after you immediately say so. It's good. Says the actions need to be sustainable. Absolutely. Let's see. Don't tell me you love me. Show me. I will do the same. All right. I love this. I love y'all chatting. I believed his answer, and that's why I left. Yeah, listen, you ain't got to tell me. You really ain't got to tell me more than once. Oh, Mr. Grateful in the building? What's popping, bro? He says, teach, brother. Now, Grateful, you should be on this side. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone. We going to talk. We going to talk. Denitra said, just read We're Closed for the first time in Justin's book. Very fitting for this convo. Courageous Vulnerability. I'm telling y'all, go get the book. Mr. Grateful, I am so glad to see you. And that's my God. Listen, y'all get on TikTok and follow everybody up here. Make sure that you want to get your morning praise on. Check out Mr. Grateful. He comes at a 5:30-ish till about 7-ish. We be in there. He'll have you laying in your bed with your hands up, praising the Lord, your feet, your eyes be crying and all of that. He'll get your day started. Holland Girl said, again, the question was pertaining to Sir Eric when he said, why women ask, why do you love her? Okay, we get it. All right, understood. Mr. Griffith says, say that. You're saying, I agree. Let's see where we at. Holland Girl says, a woman or a man will never recognize love if she or he has never been loved before. And I can agree with that, but we have to learn, like, it has to start somewhere. It has to start. You have to have an experience. And it doesn't mean that first experience that you have is going to be the greatest thing. So we tend to gauge everything on the very first experience we have, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. and then we have to navigate and figure it out from there. What I've also learned is that as we grow and as we become, we find out what I loved and how I wanted to be loved before is not the same. You know, how I look to be loved by a man now at almost 57 is a lot different from how I looked to be loved by a man when I was, say, in my 30s. You know, it is way different. Some of the things that I needed then I don't need now. Some of the things that I didn't think I needed then I absolutely need now. You know, so I totally agree that, you know, you won't recognize it, but you do have to start somewhere. So this has been great conversation. We are not done yet. I do want to just pull the ladies up. We got Coach Theo in the building and special guest. All right. First time here. I'm so excited and glad to see her. Such a surprise, but not her last. So I'm glad she is here. And for the next few minutes, I want us to be able to engage again in more conversation. I had another question, but I don't even want to get to it because right where we're at is like a good point. So y'all know her, y'all love her. Men, do you mind? Is there anything y'all want to share before I bring the women up?
Nah.
Y'all ready? Okay. All right. Because something happens when men speak. It's still your night. We're here to dialogue, okay? We here to converse. Now, when we have we gonna get back to the ladies' room versus the men's lounge. Now, y'all know that's toxic. If you've never experienced one of those, I promise you, that's where we go at it head to head. But I'm gonna pull up Coach Theo. Did exactly, Justin. Between that and After Dark, we ain't done After Dark in a while. Now, After Dark, we start at 8:30. It's all. No holds barred. We goes in. Yeah, we need one of those. I think April, we're going to make that happen. So I want to bring up to the platform to share on what they've heard so far, to lend a little female insight. Again, we're leaning in and we're listening. And man, I thank you and I commend you for the nuggets and the jewels that you shared. You know, and it's good that we can have healthy dialogue and questions. You know, not necessarily questioning each other, but questions so that we can understand. Because on the other side of your question, men, like you said, Eric, juggling. Exactly. I'm nervous too, Pat. I don't know what's going to happen juggling, but I'm ready for it. Welcome in, Pattis, my Patty. It's good to see you. But we ask these questions so that we can have conversations, so that it will give understanding to men, so that maybe the next time you do tell a woman that you love her and she may respond why, maybe you won't take it as an offense, but you'll understand that it's something, she's not questioning you so much, but it's something in her that may need more assurance. And so you may have to say it to her a few times in order to really get that pain out of her that she's experienced. So sometimes, you know, you need that patience. I feel sorry. Listen, that whoever him is, he gonna have to tell me a few things a few times, because there's some spaces. There's just some spaces. But let's bring on up. I'm gonna bring up first because she's new here, and I love her, and she is Written Redemption. That's Justice's sister. Welcome in the building. How are you, beautiful? Well, she's muted, but she gonna come on when she ready. And y'all know her, y'all love her. America has their sweetheart. We have ours. She is the phenomenal Coach Theo is in the building. How you doing today, sis?
Hey, hi everyone. I'm doing okay. You gave me definitely too much time to myself because you know I'm back here being a busybody doing all kind of stuff. So.
Listen, I saw you writing, I saw your head down, saw you writing. I'm like, all right, let me get the ladies up so that we can engage for the next few minutes. I definitely didn't want to wrap up the show without having you ladies come and share, as we have given space to the men to talk about what it looks like, you know, when a man loves a woman. And I hope that everyone listening, this is helping to heal, and we're hearing not from the space of our pain, but from the space of our healing, of wanting to be better, wanting to understand. So I'm going to yield the floor. Written, when you are back and ready, just, say something in the chat and we'll give space for you. But come on, Coach Theo, share something with us from what you have heard tonight. What can you lend to this conversation?
I mean, I think the men have said it all. I mean, like, it's a really rich conversation. For me, I think my mind just works differently than other people, because for me, I can't really always just grasp the generalization, right? Because for me, it's dependent on the players in the relationship, right? So depending on who's in the relationship, who's navigating their relationship, the experience is going to be different, right? So everybody's expectation or what their need is going to be different. So I think because my mind can't really deal with generalizations and stereotypes, it usually takes me a while to grasp information, right? But I think the conversation was really good. I think everyone's experience is different, and it's based on, their journey, what they've experienced, what type of trauma they've experienced, what kind of disappointments they have experienced, right? And for me, I literally was like, you know what? Me dating at this age after not dating so long might be tough, because for me, I feel like the dude might get upset because I wanted to define everything. Like, let's define how we're going to communicate, right? Let's define what being emotionally available means. Because I feel like the more and more we have these conversations, the more I feel like, to me, the more and more we have this conversation, it just lends to, you have to be committed to the commitment, in the sense that you need to be ready to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? You have to be ready to be comfortable with communicating, but also defining, what does communication look like for the two of you? What does this, because depending on who you're in the relationship with, how you communicate, how you handle and manage different situations. For one person, they might say, I need to hear you say you love me. Another person might, I need you to show me that you love me, right? And what does that look like? What does it mean when I say actions speak louder than words? Because for 2 months, you might be showing up well, right? Month number 3, those actions might change. What happens then, right? Are we going to discuss that and figure out why? Or is somebody going to be like, I'm out, right? So I think there's just so many, the more and more we have this conversation, I think it just opens it up to more dynamics that need to be thought about. That's what I really was thinking. Like, the more and more they were talking, I was like, man, like, you know what? Maybe I just want to slide into 60 and just be cool, right? Because I literally think that, at this age, I'm really not trying to play games, right? I'm at this big old age, but also I'm going to need somebody that's going to be down to really navigate when it comes to communicating and navigating a relationship in the way that works for both of us. And that's going to take time, right? Because you got to come to some type of agreement on how you're going to navigate the space together.
And I agree. Thank you for that, Coach. It definitely does. And that's the point of us having these conversations, is so that it opens up to all the things that we have missed, all the spaces that we have missed. If you think about it, generations before us weren't holding these conversations. Everybody was going along with the status quo and what it's supposed to look like. No one took time to really say, hey, we need to have a date night. We need to have a night when we check in, like, I ain't talking to you as the wife title or the husband title. Just let's talk as a human title. Where's your head at? How are you feeling? This is what I need. How can I serve you? You know, and I think that we as women, we demand a lot from our men, but we can overlook what they're already doing because it doesn't look like what we expect based on what we've seen from other people. So, you know, we kind of have to take off the scales from our eyes sometimes. And ladies, trust me, this is not a man bashing. It's not, you know, women bashing. We leave space here for us to deal with the issue on the table at the time, you know, and tonight is the men's night. And so this is where we as women can sit and learn and hear from the men as they've shared. Like I said, I have heard more than enough to make me think even more, you know.
But can I just say one other thing though? But the other thing we have to think about as women are we expecting things from our men that we're not capable of giving or doing, right? Like I always I'm at the point where I'm thinking like, you know what? Do I like me? Would I date me? Right? Right? Because I think sometimes when we think from that point of view, right? Because a lot of time we go into relationships and we are expecting things from our men that we're not even ready to give or capable of giving or don't have the capacity to show up in that way, right? And so I think that's important as well. Like, do we have the capacity to deliver what we're expecting from our men?
Yeah. Well said. And that's for us to really to think about. And again, sometimes we have to sit on the other side silently and hear. And again, not listen to respond, but listen to understand. Because women will have our time and our turn, but we got to be able to have these conversations. You know, I thought about, thinking about when a man loves a woman. For me, I thought about the expectation of me looking, and this is, we're not going to get into it tonight because we'll be here till tomorrow. But the expectation of a man loving me like my father, which in some degrees is not even fair because it's two separate relationships. They're coming in at two different parts of your life. They fulfill two different roles. And a lot of us as women, I think, don't take that into consideration. So because he didn't do it like daddy does it, or he doesn't do it like, he's not going to. My father protected me in a different way than my husband did when I was married, but I was still protected, again, because their roles were very different, and that's something that we have to consider before we start cutting men down and saying, well, you're not doing and you're not, his love of us is going to look different than the men that we've had in our lives. So let's just be open-minded about that. And maybe no one's ever given language to it in that way before, So I just wanted to, mention that, put that out there. But again, that's a whole conversation for another time. Let's see. Denitra says, I found out a lot about what love is by seeing and experiencing what is not. And that's a great point. We have to have the whole experience when we're adding it up. And there's, yes, on both sides. Absolutely. And again, we're not saying that it's one-sided at all. We're giving the men room tonight to share in a safe environment, not in comparison to, but we want to give them the space to speak and share. It's always balanced. But sometimes when we're in the same space, trying to have the conversation together, we aren't able to because our emotions lead us, because then it's like, well, what about us? And what about us? And what about us? And, you know, absolutely, it's on both sides, you know, fairness. We believe in fairness. So I'm with you there, you know, but we're grateful that the men are opening up tonight. And we're on the side listening and leaning in because we want to hear. And it is not one voice, one sound. Like I said before, everyone is sharing from their well of experience. There may be a voice that resonates with you. There is no one size fits all with life, but listening to different perspectives and different angles allows us to maybe open up or think of something in a different way, you know? So it's more kind of like about exposure. So I'm glad that the men are sharing. But again, we're not one size fits all over here. Says, yes, thank you. Listening to understand is key. Right. You know, never want it to be misunderstood. I've learned. It's a hard lesson to learn, but I've learned it. I got to listen to understand where you're coming from instead of listening to respond. Good evening. Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm trying to get to the point. Bear with me 1 second. I think open and honest communication is underrated and not necessarily appreciated. That's true. You know, people need to have more. People take it so lightly, like communication doesn't matter. You know, but like Coach said, understanding a person's communication style will save you a lot of trouble. And it doesn't even mean that you both have to communicate the same way. I just have to understand this is how you communicate. When you say this is what that means. We went to a marriage retreat one time, and there was a session where the theme if we were playing a game, which was what you said, what I heard. You know, and the husband said one thing, and the wife had to repeat what she heard. So for those of you who don't know, Eric Swinton and I used to be married, you know, so we went to this marriage retreat. And I don't know if you remember that, Eric. You know, and it was interesting because some of us was like, the husband said, you know, the sky is blue. And some wives were like, oh, so you don't like red? And the husband was like, I didn't say it like red. I said the sky is blue. You know, it's a nice shade of blue. It's like, oh, so you're saying blue is better than white, you know? And the husband is like, no, that's not what I said. It's how we interpret. You know, it's that miscommunication. So sometimes what people say and what we hear is not always the same. And we have to be willing to sit at the table and literally incorporate that type of conversation so that we're not missing each other. Because again, when a man loves a woman, we can easily overlook it because it doesn't show up the way that we understand. So I won't keep y'all all night. This has been a great conversation. I'm excited. Ritten, are you there? Are you able to speak? You are available to share? Because I don't want them to miss you. But if you're not, definitely going to have you back. Come on next Thursday night, because next Thursday night is girl tonight. It's girl chat. We're gonna talk about some stuff, ladies. We're gonna keep it real and raw. So I hope that this conversation has sparked some other conversations that will happen. And the first conversation is the one that we need to have with ourselves in thinking really about how we expect men to show up in our lives, how they are showing up in our lives. Am I understanding and receiving the love you're showing in the right way? And it doesn't mean that men are even doing it right. Let me just say that because I don't, want some not taking away from it. But no, every man is not doing it right. And if you feel that he's not doing it right or you're not being loved right, then act accordingly. One of the things that I've learned and, I firmly believe in is that you know you're loved when you feel you're loved. That's how you know. You don't have to question it. When you feel it, you know it. So I want to thank you guys for having this amazing conversation, for coming and sharing and opening up our understanding. I always say the motto of the Men's Lounge is something happens when men speak. And I'm looking forward to next month when the men come back and have another amazing conversation. So I want to give the fellas space to give their final thoughts and comments. Guys, if you don't mind, if you haven't hit that like button, that thumbs up yet, please do so. Please share the live. When the live is over, it's a thing called hyping. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can hit that hype button. It looks like a little rainbow. It should give you the opportunity to do that. You can subscribe to the network. I promise you, we have conversations like this on Mondays and Thursdays and sometimes other days throughout the week, but you don't want to miss any of these dynamic conversations we're having. So Theo, as always, I love you, sis. Thank you for coming on and shedding light. She's always a voice of reason. Written, we gonna get you in here, mama. We're gonna make sure next Thursday, the minute you pop on, I want you to pop off. Just come off your mic and just start talking. I don't care what's going on. Gentlemen, you are the most amazing men that I have met in a long time. Thank you. Y'all don't even know how you have refreshed my thoughts about some men in these streets. It's good to know that there's some men in this world that are still trying to live and love right. So I want to give you guys space to have your final thoughts and comments. I see you juggling. I'm going to answer you in 2 seconds. I'm going to start with Eric Swinton to Eric Moore to the coach, Mr. Reverend, Right Reverend Bishop Dr. Courageous Vulnerability, and then the voice of God, aka Moses, for a final comment. So come on, E. Swinton.
I'm just gonna say this: when a man loves a woman, he spends his very last dime on her and trying to hold on to what he needs. He'd give up all his comforts and sleep out in the rain if she said that's the way it ought to be. Think about that, ladies. I am Eric. I will see you next week. You can catch my show, DJ E Love, in the mix Thursdays, 8 to 10 p.m. on Without Warning Radio. You can download the app in the App Store, Google Play, and Apple Music, and all that other good stuff.
Thank you. Come on, E. Moore.
I'm going to keep this as short as I possibly can. Everybody has a different definition of the term love. Love means different things to different people. Also, I'm going to say, if you want someone to be emotionally available, you have to ask yourself, number one, are you emotionally available? And two, are you really ready for what you ask for? My name is Eric Moore. Go to withoutwarningradio.com. Listen to some good music, some good conversations. And family, I appreciate you having me back. I had a great time.
Oh, you ain't going away. That you own that circle now. That's be prepared to be on deck. How you think everybody else got here? I told y'all think I'm playing. It's one way in and no way out. Y'all think I'm playing. Will tell you, but they'll all tell you I kidnap everybody. Come on, coach, courageous vulnerability.
I was gonna try not to say it, but it's bothering me, so I gotta say it. Coach Theo, you said you was wondering at your age because you want to have like structured conversation and clarify the terms. I can't, when I think of what I think a man is, clarified terms is the sexiest thing in the world. I'm about to slide in your DMs after you said that. So please don't let that stop it, because man, that is clarified terms, like understanding what's actually happening and kind of having an idea of how this is going to work. Like that's a structure that culturally that's a structure that a lot of men raised up in this culture fit well in, because once we know what to do, we do what to do. And so that's not a bad thing at all. I hope that the ladies do understand that, contrary to what gets said out here, man. I know the men that I know want to love and want to experience love. We absolutely want to give you the world. Um, but we don't have blue genies, so I'll give you as much of it as I can. Um, and just have again like clarified terms. I heard brother E say you got to know what you're asking for, and I gotta say this is not a thought that I've completely thought through, but something I've been thinking about in terms of that emotional availability. I think, and maybe this is a question for a later time, but I think that emotional availability requires emotional responsibility. And so if you want somebody to be emotionally available, then you got to be emotionally responsible for that. And vice versa. Y'all have to have that dynamic between each other. Now, what that means in total, I haven't thought through completely. Um, but my thoughts on it so far, I just feel like I feel like that would be a really strong dynamic for a relationship. And I feel like it would make it grow. But yeah, you know, at a later time we can maybe dig into that a little better. But Coach Justin Wilson, courageous vulnerability. Um, grateful to my big sister, Reverend Dr. Coach Don B. Grateful to my brothers on the panel tonight. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Well, you know, we ain't mad at you, Just, but you know that in order for you, prerequisite of you sliding up in coaches' DMs, you got to come with the car wash coupon. Uh, she's gonna need at least 6 washes before she considers.
Listen, you're gonna leave me alone about my car wash.
Listen, we're not mad at you. Look, you making it known what you need. We are not mad. And Justin said he got the coupon. He said, I can't help.
The Samanat
Listen,
special.
I love it. See, this is why I love Thursday nights. You never know what's gonna happen. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm a come on, voice of God.
Gotta coordinate.
Because it's about to go after dark real quick in a second. I was about to say something about to take it to the next level.
Hey, listen. Hey, Theo deserves that car wash.
I ain't mad. I know how to celebrate. I said, get it all.
Listen, brother Moose, I took my car to the car wash myself though on this weekend. So
hey, sometimes you gotta do that. You know, you gotta get them batteries. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying. Hey, listen. When a man loves a woman, you gotta understand. First of all, you gotta have eyes to see that man, because when he loves you, he's gonna give you all of him. Not because someone told him to or anything. It's just what he does naturally. He learns how to balance with you. You'll help him balance. But I will tell you, if that man loves you, he will give you all of him first. Now, the reason why I say pay attention and have eyes to see that man, because you need to know that that's all of him. Not all he can give you or all of this or all of that. No, that's all of him. And just like you come in stages and evolve in stages, so does he. But when he loves you at that moment, he's giving you all of him. And be able to recognize that, understand that, and place value. And if all that he is not good enough for you, then count yourself like Eve's daughter and walk away. Just go. Because ain't nothing is good enough for you. Because if a person is giving you all of them, yes, go ahead. Both of y'all, got you. So if got you. All right, sorry, I was getting orders, guys.
We see.
But yeah, so I just tell y'all like it is. Like, look, because a lot of times, you know, you're asking for something, and like Coach Theo said, sometimes y'all not even on the receiving end for it. You're not even there because you don't even know what it costs or what it takes to give what you're asking for. So if you want to know what a man that loves you look like, I see, son. Go and love yourself first. Moose be strength. Love y'all. Y'all come over on TikTok. Come see the team. Come see the poetry. Come check the real ones out. You know what I'm saying? We all a family. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Lady Dawn B. Thank you, Coach Steele, Brother Erics, my brother E with a K, Brother AJW, Coach Steele. Hey, Written Redemption. Listen, I love y'all. And don't take my words hard, but like I mean it. Like I want better for us. So that comes with us doing the work. Move your hands before you get hurt. Love y'all.
Love you, bro.
Well, we appreciate all of the conversation on tonight. Of course, you know, people say that men don't speak, but, you know, we also don't make room. So I'm glad that these men show up on a regular basis to share with us. This men's conversation has been amazing. I want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up on tonight and for coming through. Please make sure that you go over to Amazon and get AJW's book, Courageous Vulnerability, as well as Dr. Elaine's book, I'm a Woman with Issues, but I Still Qualify. Listen, follow everybody on TikTok. You can find us on Facebook. Just go everywhere and anywhere on social media. You'll be able to connect with us. Most of all, I would ask again, just hit that thumbs up button, that like, and just subscribe to the network, because I'm telling you, it just gets better from here. We're overdue for a poetry night. April is coming. AJW, we can definitely have that conversation about emotional availability. I love that. We're going to have the men's lounge coming up. April's going to be a great month. March has been amazing, but we're not done yet. Next Thursday night is going to be the ladies' night, and we're going to have girl talk. There is no topic off limits. We're going to talk about the things we need to talk about. So ladies, come prepared to keep it real and raw. Written Redemption, I love you, sis. So glad for coming, that you came through. Next week, I hope we can hear from you. And for those of you who need a little spiritual encouragement, I want to invite you to join me tomorrow at 7:30 across the street on the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. I will be over there. I get to switch hats and I get to show up as Elder Dawn B. And we have been celebrating Women's History over there too. Tomorrow night, I'm going to have 4 of my amazing sisters in ministry coming and sharing words of encouragement that are going to inspire us to press on and continue making history. I'm your Thursday night host, the Lady Dawn B, aka Coach Dawn B, aka Elder Dawn B. Want you to be encouraged and be blessed. So have a great night, panel. I love y'all. Thursday Squad, y'all are dope. See y'all next week.
Pushing me to progression like I'ma make the rest of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life.